What's up?
Aren't you doing it for the likes?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the likes.
Okay, hold up. So you doing it for the pussy?
Nah, I mean, yeah, no, I ain't doing it for that.
Okay, then what are you doing it for?
Man, I do it for the culture.
The culture?
And girls sections, and then you can put on like a robe and you meet up together, and there's co-ed places and then there's non-co-ed places.
Okay.
There's like a steam room and you could get a massage and but it's only like $30 I think to go in.
No, that's nice.
Have you done it too, Amarie?
No.
It's nice?
I've just seen it. It sounds nice.
I need niggas that lived it.
I mean, a spa?
Yeah.
I've always thought a spa is like, yo, $100, you need membership.
I'm doing
Like,
too
I don't know.
That I just sit back and think about this. Now it took me 22 seconds to
why you rolling your
But I take time. But I do take time
Have you
off.
been-
Like last night, I didn't go to. Did you go to Sam's party?
Yeah. Well, that was 'cause
You know what I did?
What?
I took a fucking bath. I took a fucking bath. I laid there. I felt like shit, like not going out with everyone. But I was like, I can't do this. And then I went to bed at like 9:30.
Well, what it was, so after the taping, after Free For All, I went home. I was like, yo, everybody was like, I'm drained. So I went home and took what I thought was going to be an hour and a half nap. I woke up, it was 9:25. I was like, oh, shit.
Because your body needs it.
I was like, well, let me go ahead and get on
I'm
the
not going to
body.
be your mom, but I'm just saying.
No, you can be.
I will be your mom.
You can be. I mean, my mom's not here, so I need.
Is it official? Are we momming and momming Jay?
I will mom all of you if you
my
would
God.
like.
With
If you
no-
need a mom.
I need a mom. My
I will
mom
give you
is
some hard
crazy.
love. I will give you the hardest love.
Paul, we rolling? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Check this out, guys. This is For the Culture Live podcast. I'm your host, Nick Alexander. Here to my right is my co-host, Amarie Lee.
What up?
And today's my guest, some good comic buddies of mines. I got my man Jay Washington from Chicago.
Oh, hey, what's happening? I don't know. Wait, should I look into something or should I look at you?
You could look in the cam. You could just make,
Look into their soul right
look into
there.
the soul of the audience.
I don't know why I immediately went to porn. I'm like, yeah, just look right into it.
No, so
Yeah,
your
that
girls. That's
That's what we're taught.
Look right at the camera. Don't
Right at the camera. Make love to the camera with your eyes.
No, don't make love to the camera. Just look at the camera.
look
I
at the
look
camera.
somewhat astonished about what you're looking at. Just wow, this is
Look
amazing.
surprised. Look smile.
Honey, you look a little scared. A little scared.
Look, we're
Less
gonna
scared.
reshoot this.
And my other guest is Dani Fernandez. She's from like 3 cities, so I don't want to get one wrong.
I don't know what to say when people ask
Well,
me.
you rapping. What do you claim? You got to claim it.
I don't know. I guess I really don't know. I have my Longhorn. I have my Austin because that's where I went to school. You know,
Okay.
we had South by Southwest this weekend.
Yeah.
So, but I was only there for like 4 years, so I don't know if I'm allowed. That's
Okay.
my alumni city, though.
They usually say the city where you felt like you came of age, that's the
Shit.
one you claim.
That's Dallas. I don't want to claim Dallas.
Oh, so, sorry, Dallas. She ain't fucking with you.
Did y'all not hit a heartbreak in that shit,
Right.
though?
It's like when you tell a guy like, yeah, the sex was kind of just whack. Let's just not do it again.
I'm glad that I grew up in Dallas. I'm glad for the time that I have there. However, I've had to delete most of my high school classmates this political season.
Of course you did.
So Dallas.
They bought the number 45?
I love part of Dallas.
Oh, well, I had to delete most of my high school classmates, and I grew up with them niggas.
Right.
They are fucking ignorant.
Political reasons too.
Yo, political reasons, the fact that dumb as dog shit.
What about the one that seen you in the commercial?
Man, which one? Shit,
Oh,
'cause, like,
he did a commercial. He was at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach one time, and then Jay had just had a commercial that came out, and he was like, "Yo, this chick who never talked to me in high school,
right.
never looked at me, made eye contact."
a chick I never talked. I know what you're talking about.
I need
Chick
that potential.
No, fuck that. So a chick I never talked to in high school. Like, I swear to God, we had classes together and never talked. All of a sudden, the commercial I did with Amy Schumer dropped. So I get a message on Facebook and says, "Is it weird that I was having sex with my boyfriend on top and I saw you on the commercial?" It was like, Jay. I was like, does that
What?
mean I win in life? Like, you
No,
telling
that
me?
means she's psycho as fuck.
I mean, we never get down like that, but I was like, no, does that mean I literally responded, does that mean I win? Like,
I hope people fuck to my comedy specials. I would be flattered by that.
like, I want to be flattered, but like, yo, don't tell me, like, that's weird telling me.
Like she
yo,
laughs midway through my bit while she's getting
I
pounced.
just want to know how,
shit is
I ain't gonna lie to
weird,
y'all,
son.
low key, my soul was like, yo, I'm dude
Yeah.
that was getting rolled. And all of a sudden, I know good goddamn well.
She claimed another name.
Jay.
Yeah. That was a fight.
That's a push.
I also love that she like painted a picture of the position she was in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, so I was doing it with my boyfriend. He was from behind. Well, it was actually the one where you're not quite on your knees, but you're.
It's number 83 in the Kama Sutra book.
The Kama Sutra. Hilarious.
I was about to bust, but I saw you, Jay, and I was like, let me hold it in for my boy, Jay.
But you know what? Here's the thing. You know how homie's a sucker? Because how did she have the time to type that? Because that would have been a fight. Like, bitch, what the fuck is you typing?
Talking like, bitch, did you really?
She was texting Miss Stroke like, yeah.
Like, bitch, did you really just stop to text this nigga?
Right, yeah. We was laughing up for like a good hour
and a half. So I was like,
and then you put it out there on Facebook.
It's one of the things you look on your phone and you just like, this is not real. This is not happening. Like the fuck, but
no, I feel you. So Facebook, I would say, is where I got cool with you and Dani. I think I was introduced to Dani through a mutual friend of ours, Jerron, on Horton.
Oh yeah,
yeah, on Facebook. And then I fucks with her statuses. I fucks with your statuses. You know, y'all on some militant shit. Tell the good people. What y'all like to do.
No, what you were gonna say.
I'm not militant. I just to tell people, look,
truth teller.
What's so truth is it's. Put shit into perspective before you always say something. Or like the biggest thing I'm on now is, can y'all read these fucking articles y'all sharing? Can y'all check the dates? Because people been sharing articles for over a year and a half, 2-3 years.
I shared like 4 this week. I ain't read, but I like the headline.
Upset about shit. And I'm like, yo, you upset about something you should have been mad at. Like the Dylan Roof joint. I'm like, that was nice to know 2 years ago when he got convicted. They're like, well, it was just happening now. No, it been happening. You fucking idiots just want to share it. Like, that's how we are in the predicament we're in today. Doing things.
I've been a part of the problem. I'm sorry.
I feel like with Jay and I also, it's at a lot of these places and the nerd world that we're in where people are like women and people of color, and I'm like, we were saying that for years now. And you guys were not only like uninviting us from stuff or saying we're difficult for speaking up, and now you're like, hey, can you come on my show because you want brown faces, but you want us to be quiet about these issues. And it's frustrating. Like you want to capitalize on it because you think it's a trending topic now when it's something that it's something that we have been saying for years that will continue on for years after this.
It's like, you know, that they just not really Wakanda forever. They're like Wakanda right now.
I was just gonna bring over that. I was just gonna bring that up. Like everybody knows, last month was Black, because I don't know how long this airs, but February is Black History Month. Yeah. With that came the release of Black Panther, and definitely in the nerd world where Dani and I are, I was I was very vocal about listening to every network. I don't give a shit if I do or don't work on you. For this, you need to have qualified and capable men and women of color at the forefront of this doing your coverage. Don't act like you don't know any, because I swear I'm tired of hearing that. Well, I never knew who I could call. Still. I can hit up. There's a bunch of people. Would you like a long-ass list? Yeah. And then the problem became, okay, you utilize them for that coverage, for that film. Now, what's going to happen come March? Are you going to push them to the wayside and act like, well, you know, we can go back to business? Some have. Damn. And I'm like, some have decided to say, well, we'll keep a sprinkle here, there, because we're trying this new initiative. And most people know it's bullshit and we see through your friend.
Yeah, tokenism. But I feel like also a lot of these channels, they only let people of color review people of color films. They only let Black people review Black people films. And it's like, they won't let them do. And it's like, no. They should be at every junket. They should be at every screening. Like it shouldn't just be it shouldn't just be this small sector. And like I said, I feel like when there is a movie like Black Panther or Coco or something, Coco, it's like,
he was all over Coco, Dani.
Thanks, no, but
I got some more good news. They're doing Charmed Latina reboot.
I know, I'm really excited about it.
Me too.
But like that shouldn't be the only thing that they're allowed to discuss.
Nope.
Yeah. And I feel like that's still an issue at a lot of these.
So how's it looking for Avengers Infinity War? Y'all, what's the pulse on that? Y'all gonna be at the premiere?
It's gonna be a lot of Dani will probably be at the premiere because of Dani's hookup, which is the dope.
Dani got a plug?
Dani got a dope ass plug. And, and I saw her plug's credit in the Oscars, and I was like, word. But that's the homie, so I'm like, I understand. Yeah. But Infinity War, I'm sitting there trying to punch my ticket somehow, some way. But I feel you, bro. I already know what it is. So
what is Infinity War for people who
don't have no idea.
It's the Avengers. It's basically this big culmination of 10 years worth of movies into one. Okay. There's been no other movie studio in history that has culminated 20 films to lead into one movie. That what's about to happen with Infinity War, which is why it in itself is historic just for that. You've had movies that are, this is a sequel, this is a sequel, trilogy. Another sequel. We went 7 Nightmare on Elm Streets before we was like, yo, can we just chill? Friday the 13th is certain things.
We got another Halloween coming out.
We got another one where it's like, yo, we gonna act like a lot of that shit never happened. But with Marvel's Infinity War, you started in 2008 with Iron Man, with the movie that, because Iron Man was a low character that nobody really cared about in the comics that much. But you
had like a little TV show, but it was like, all right.
Right, people didn't care. But you took a film from that and you built this gigantic universe that spawned 20 other films now, that all connect to lead to this grandiose thing that's about to happen. So that's what that is.
And that's part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
MCU.
Have you guys heard about the whole Stan Lee thing?
That what, he's dying?
Yeah.
I mean, we can kind of see it.
What does Dani?
She's new to this, so
no, because honestly, what I heard about the news, and then I also heard he was 95 years old. So I was just like, well, I don't know what's up with the superhero world, but
he's not.
95.
Well, not even that. It was I want to start reading comic books. Once his wife passed, I literally put him. It's
a clock.
I put him on a clock after his wife passed because him and his wife had been together for 50
for a long time.
For a super long time.
The woman can hold on when the husband passes away, but when the husband loses the wife, the shit goes direct.
That just shows the power of women.
Dani, what kind of powers are you talking about, Dani?
A lot of power.
To go back to the very first Best of Both Worlds album, the power of it. It's that I know I will never ever find anybody like this again in the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You have that moment, and 50, 60 years worth of marriage.
He dedicated his whole life to that.
He dedicated everything he did was for his wife. And so once it happened, once you heard his wife had passed, you were like, it's unfortunate. At the time he was 93?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, so you're like,
he's holding on. I think what I'm saying, I think he's holding on for Avengers to come out, and then he'll pass like in the summer. And then he's gonna hold
$2 billion.
He's gonna do $2 billion
in 2 weeks.
He's gonna hold on.
Do a superhero about him too, like the oldest superhero.
I think they're going to do a biopic
on Stan.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as to play Stan Lee?
Oh God, wait, who are they looking at?
I didn't know. They were.
Who would you cast though? I'm asking.
I didn't know they were thinking about doing one.
I don't know.
I would want Christopher Walken's.
No, God.
We'll see how far you get as a casting director.
So the Incredible Hulk should be like
cast as crap. Can you look?
I'm looking at right now.
There was somebody that had a good casting. It was like a young. I don't know who I would cast for him, but
would he be white?
Yeah.
Would he be Latin? Try to pose as a white guy?
Or Latino who looks white. So
oh my gosh.
Oh wow. The first thing that popped up in mind
was Leo.
Is Leo.
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Oh, to play the young version of him, and he'll have to do prosthetics?
I feel like he would be slightly comedic. I feel like it would be
He's got the slick hair thing he could do.
Young-ish, like 30-ish, white, comedic.
Stan Lee does have humor. If he's
No, that's who I said. I think it should be a comedy actor.
A comedic actor, okay.
Yeah, a comedic actor. But
Owen Wilson?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
He's got a good look to him, and he's
Bill Hader or Ed Helms. Those are the two I can see being him.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what about Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller's ears are big enough.
I think that's a little. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna go for a young.
Yeah, he can't do the hair thing. You got to get that Stan Lee comb thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if Ben can get that popping.
Yeah, he'll probably get the Zoolander.
Yeah, I don't know who we were looking at.
All right, so you guys are both comics. I consider y'all, Jay. I know Jay more from stand up. Dani, you write, you host, and whatever. What do you guys like to call yourself? Because you do so many things, and what I wanted to touch into later was how you guys host in the I don't know the word. The
Nerd World.
That's
Nerd World.
Say, Nerd
okay,
World,
so host of Nerd World genre. Y'all do work with IGN and RPG. I haven't mentioned that. Twitch.
Well, you do all them the higher networks. That one.
Okay.
Because she out here being a G.
No,
she has a G.
You're regularly on huge networks than I am because
you spoke your mind, so let's just call it what it is. You can say how you feel.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons you and I have clicked, because both of us have that I'm gonna say how I feel attitude.
Right. And I don't want to work with you if you don't agree with it.
If you don't agree with it.
It's not that I think I'm right, but I am. But
Love that.
But it's not about anything.
It's true.
It's not about anything that should be controversial. That's what I'm saying. When we speak up about racial or social issues that are happening in these fandoms or in this nerd world, it shouldn't. I don't think that people should be arguing that we need more people of color in these films. I didn't realize that was a thing that people argue about. I thought that was just
comments.
no.
I've seen comments, and God forbid I still do this. I thought I should have learned now. You read some of the YouTube comments.
Of course.
Oh, why are we forcing diversity in things? It's not forcing. It's called, this is what life is. You have to have this. It has to be included.
And if we did a numbers crunch, you would see how much of a despairing thing it is where white actors and compared to black. And then what about, and I was thinking too, like how, all right, fine, black people, we finally kind of getting our hold of superheroes, but like Indians got to be like, yo, we like 50 years away.
Well, you see different races. A lot of my Latino friends like, yo, where's the Puerto Rican superhero?
Right.
And it's like, you're right. Where are the American Indians?
The Chinese.
But see, the thing is, there are certain ones. There are American Indian ones. There are Afro-Latino and Afro-Latina superheroes.
Right.
It's just that they have never been pushed to the forefront. Again, Black Panther was an ancillary character.
Right.
He was never a star character.
Nah.
So now it just takes these companies to start pushing them to the forefront. One of the biggest issues both Dani and I had was with the casting for X-Force, for Sunspot. Sunspot is an Afro-Latino man. They went and casted a white Brazilian dude. You can get an Afro-Latino guy.
He's out there.
Role.
And he's in Brazil.
Or if he's even in America.
Right.
You don't have, but you can get the perfect casting for that and not act like there's nobody to find, or just say, well, we looked through 10 and that's it. And we're done.
That's a lot of what they do.
And they do that. And so there are opportunities for every race, every culture to be represented on the big screen.
Right.
It's just the people who are in charge, who 9 times out of 10 don't have that skin color, have to be willing to put forth that initiative, that effort. And now it's like you got to push them and drive them. Like, why does it have to be done still?
For sure. I feel that. Like, I know Asians, they kind of had their moment with the Star Wars, the little Asian chick who was feeling
Rose Tico
thing.
Bro, they even have there's a Korean Hulk. There's the totally awesome Hulk that Marvel can actually use. His name is Amadeus Cho. They can actually use him because Universal didn't buy the rights to him.
I think the biggest thing too that we see is people be like, well, you got your one.
Oh God.
And
that's
it's like, and it's like, no, you got to see yourself represented for, over a century now.
In different properties.
And people are like, well, all of these and the way that people act like we're taking these roles from them. And it's like, no, we could have just people of color all year and it would still not make a dent in the history of television and film. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Facts.
It would not make a dent.
Make a round of applause for that one.
One of the biggest things, like I remember when Wonder Woman came out, how big of a proponent Dani was about it, just as equal as I was about Black Panther.
Right.
And one of the biggest things we both were combating in arguments were, well, what if there was a film with all white guys, superheroes, and this and third? We was like, that's been every single movie. Like, I literally saw one when it came to Black Panther. Well, what if there was a story about a white superhero with an all-white kingdom with magical and mystical powers? There is. It's called Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
It's called Thor. We've seen 3 Thor movies. So,
and I heard he fought Hitler in one of them, right? I did my other research.
A lot of people have fought Hitler in the comics. The comics, another thing that I feel
Look at her studying it. I ain't know that shit.
I appreciate
I'm just trying to get it how I live,
I want to say, though, that another comment that I feel, Jay, and I get a lot is like, oh, why do you have to make it political? Why do you have to make these superhero movies political? It's like, have you read a comic book? Have you picked up a comic book?
A lot of it's
comics are political.
Are you familiar with the X-Men?
Yeah, X-Men.
Like, I tell everybody, like, every quote-unquote comic book fan that has ever come at me and be like, why does it have to be political? Do you like the X-Men? Of course I do. Then shut your mouth, because Professor Xavier and Magneto were premised off of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's like, what are you saying? This has always been political. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee have kept their fingers on the pulse of social issues, no matter what.
Captain America's shield, Roosevelt did it for him.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at her remembering her notes.
Marvel and DC have actually tackled every single war that we have ever had in the history of the U.S. They've tackled every single war.
Yeah. Let's give some props to DC, too, because DC made the Green Arrow, and the Arrow was a politician who fought the good fight. Mayor Oliver Queen.
I will give DC.
Come on, Jay. Oliver Queen is a good guy.
DC props for. I'm going to give DC props for working with Greg Berlanti, who partnered up with Salim Akil and Mara Brock Akil.
And we have Black
Lightning. Dope ass Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That has literally hit on everything going on and just like unapologetic.
Yo, episode 6, I think, touched on, they had a little part about racism, crabs in a barrel.
Bro,
I was like, when they brought up crabs in a barrel.
In the very first episode when Jefferson Pierce got pulled over and said, this is the 3rd time this month. And I was like, wow, I know what type of show we're about to get.
Yeah.
And I was cool with it because it was so unapologetic. It was like, this is going to be a superhero show in a fictional city, which I still call Atlanta Light. Because it looks,
they shot that in Atlanta.
It is shot in Atlanta. But it's like they have never strayed away from situations that are real and current today. I've actually had an issue with what was supposed to happen in Arrow, which I was
waiting for the episode. They scrapped that?
I don't know if they scrapped it or it's still supposed to come. But Arrow is supposed to be doing a Black Lives Matter episode. And everybody's like, well, what's wrong with that? Arrow does not have a black writer on its staff. How do you write that episode?
Yeah, Diggle and Echo Kellum is not enough.
Those are just staff. Those are cast. They're not in the writer's room.
Right.
So it's like, how do you justify that? You know, we already know they tried to do the gun rights issue where I was like, I get what you do.
It wasn't bad. It was cool.
Were beating people over the head like, bow, bow, you're going to hear about it. And if you did that with that issue, which is super sensitive to people, just imagine what it would have been for a Black Lives Matter episode. Yeah. And so, I give DC credit for certain things, but at the same time, it's like, let's not just look. DC CW now has been this. We want to be this new Millennium Network.
I think it's great. My boy, because my boy who told me about the Charm reboot being all Latina says they're gonna really CW is gonna be that place for Latin folks to get their shit off.
Oh, Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin. And
yeah. They got. I think that's gonna be the wave. So like the way we kind of like built up UPN and WB in the '90s. Like,
bro, did you go back to UPN?
You pick a nigga,
underpaid
Negro.
You know when we used to watch Jenna Jones,
Homeboys,
Jamie Foxx show, Moesha,
The Park,
One-on-One, Steve Harvey show. Martin was on Fox. Amy.
Martin was Fox.
Come on.
Wow.
I had to call you. I'm sorry, but the Fox night of Martin was the Thursday night Black night because it was Martin and Living Single,
and then New York Undercover. With Malik Yoba,
Mr. Ashy Lip,
and Michael DiLorenzo, who ain't did nothing since that
they used to kill Malik Yoba when I was growing up because my mom was a big fan of Malik Yoba, and she always told me how she had a friend of hers who would like they watch the show and when she go to work, she's like, "How come your man always got ashy lips? He don't never use no chapstick."
How come your man's always got these ashy lips?
How come your man's lips always so white? I think he got his chapstick now. So
but Dani, how do you identify as a comic writer, host?
Yeah,
I would writer is what I always put first. That's why I moved out here was to write, and then kind of got my first job that I ever got out here was at the Ice House Comedy Club. They are a great club. They really took care of me, and I just wanted to move out here to write. I wanted to write late night and do sketches, and it's hard to be around comics without them wanting you to do stand-up or encouraging you if they think you're a funny writer. So I kind of fell into doing stand-up, did stand-up for a couple of years out here, realized this is what you and I were talking about earlier, that I was treading water trying to do everything. And I think that that's a thing that a lot of people here in LA try to do. They try to do everything. And then you realize you see people who are kind of just have narrowed down 2 things and they're getting really good and they're moving up in it, whereas your ass is trying to do everything and you're not moving forward.
I stopped at 4. I said, I'm going to focus on this podcast.
Yeah.
Stand up is whenever I can manage. I'm gonna definitely put a lot more focus with acting, or I will once and then improv. So like 4. I'm stopping at 4.
Yeah,
hey, man, my wrestling boots just came back in.
I heard.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it.
You thinking about it? Getting
You're someone that
build up the LA scene.
It's hard when you're good. When you're good at shit. There are a lot of our friends are super talented at so many things.
So many things.
Yeah.
Amy, what you thinking about?
I'm just listening. What's up?
How many hustles you got going on right now?
Well, I had the Instagram thing going for a while, then it got oversaturated.
So you don't want to do it anymore?
I don't like doing sketches anymore. Once I got to a certain point, I was like, all right, let me back off from that. And then now I'm just focusing on acting, stand-up, and I guess this podcast.
So three.
Yeah.
Oh no, because you just showed me before the podcast. So you writing now too.
Oh yeah, and I am writing. I'm writing an animated series right now. So
damn,
she's trying to develop some projects.
Yeah, we're doing some stuff here. But you're totally right in the sense that because as creatives, we want to kind of like just dip into everything to kind of stay active with things. But then it kind of gets overwhelming.
Yeah, you'll have scripts that go unfinished. You'll have ideas that you don't end up shooting. Yeah, you know, and so it just. It was too much. I had to have a real hard conversation with myself of what do I actually want to achieve out here and how can I do that? How can I set myself up so I have time to do that?
Yeah.
So that I'm not just treading water. So I feel like I have seen success this year. By cutting out some things. It's really
laser
difficult.
Focus, tunnel.
It's
vision.
difficult to pass up gigs. It's difficult to see people get things that you wanted. But I think at the end of the day, you have to think long term or you will burn yourself out.
Yeah. I know my man Jay, you just had a surgery recently, and it's good that you know, I know you had to wait to heal and recover, and you probably went
still going through that.
So how was that? So you had a throat surgery? What was
basically sore throat led to an abscess that got fed thanks to prednisone, thanks to the hospital, and then some cough syrup, and then it ruptured in my throat. Had pus and air all in my throat. I had to have an emergency tracheostomy. Was out for like a week. 2 days after I got out the hospital, I was back at events. 3 days after that, I was back on the air
But you were in pain?
Hell yeah, I'm still in pain now.
All right, so you got them painkillers though?
I got a little bit of Percocet. But nah, it's for me like how for me, I tell everybody now, because I do so much, I will admit, I literally have coined myself as an average black dude that just hangs around. Because in Los Angeles, you'll see so many people who try to wear all their credits on their sleeve. Everything they've done.
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to just say, I'm an average black dude that hangs around instead of saying, I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm an actor, podcast host, internet host, former professional wrestler, and, you know, a father first and foremost.
Right.
You know, it's easier to say those. And granted, I do a lot because that's the Chicago in me. The Chicago in me has always made it where you have to hustle no matter what. We're always a hustling town. And coming here, I knew that I couldn't just rely on being just a stand-up comedian. Couldn't do that. Thank God when I got here, I had the Spike Lee joint Chirac. I had 2 other films that were about to come out. And
what's your wrestler name, by the way? I'm curious.
The Urban Gladiator Trauma.
What is it?
The Urban Gladiator Trauma.
And do you have a uniform for that?
I have my wrestling gear. I lost all my wrestling gear. I'm getting some new stuff made. I'm getting new shorts made, new T-shirts made, and a new thing.
Do you have some video? Are we ever going to get it on Facebook like a Throwback Thursday?
It's always been. My videos have been up of me wrestling.
I've never seen it.
I have no problem putting it up, but
all right, this Thursday, along with the episode, we're
gonna have a little clip of Jay
throwing somebody off the ropes and then slamming on it.
But I'll show y'all what I'm gonna put up. I'll show you all what I'll put up, but I'll put it back up.
That's awesome.
It's
really cool.
Thank you.
You watch wrestling, Amy? I was a SmackDown Raw.
Yes, all the time.
WCW or WWF?
WCW.
WCW.
Yeah.
So like Nitro and the NWO.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just I agree with Danny. You see a lot of people you know and you're close with get a lot of things. Before I came here, I was infamous for being jealous because I was busting my ass working and I was like, yo, why am I not ever elevating? Like I was hitting the road. I was amassing time. I was on stage rocking.
Who was saying these things? Could have back slam.
No, I was saying it to myself. I was like, why am I not?
Were you like low key hating on the inside?
Oh, honestly, yes.
I'm a high key hater.
No, it was some people I was like, yo, like how the fuck do you get this? And it's to the point still where I realize sometimes I'm like that. But now like Danny would say, yo, you doing so much. And I'm like, I'm just working. Yeah. Like I tell people a lot of times, her and I have so many conversations that get so deep and real. Like we just talk. And like, I don't think I'm doing all this other stuff compared to what the world sees. To me, it's just like, all right, I got to be on that. All right, I got to be on that.
Put in work.
I got to do that.
Put in work.
But it does get to the point where you see people doing stuff and you're like, how the hell did they get that? But then you're like, oh, that's such and such friend. Mm-hmm. And that's literally what happens.
That happens a lot out there.
It happens a lot. Yeah. It literally, talent is a minute portion of anything that happens in someone's success out here in Los Angeles. Because I've watched people get TV shows, movie deals, stand-up comedy specials, just because of who they know.
Yeah.
I think surviving out here is a matter of perseverance.
Yes.
Sometimes more than talent.
Consistency.
Yeah.
But that's always been the case in general. Like anybody could have the most talent they want, but you have to be a hard worker in order to get there. And whether that is, people and being consistent with them and and you get to build that rapport and you get that opportunity, then that's where it lands. Because a lot of people, they have talent, but they're too prideful to kind of go out and just, meet new people or expand their horizons because they're like, oh, I love my talent. Absolutely. And they kind of stay stagnant towards that. And I know so many talented people who they're talented, but they're lazy as fuck.
But it's also, there's nothing wrong with networking.
Probably because they're talented.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, I agree that you have to know how to network for sure. I 100% agree with you.
And I look like you're thirsty, but
that's what it is. There's some people who go from networking to thirsty.
Yeah. But are those people on right now?
They got famous friends here.
They got...
What?
Are those people on?
What, Dani? Huh? I feel like you had something coming on, Dani.
No, I
share it with the world.
Here's my thing. I hate when people don't support or root for other people.
Yeah.
That's my issue. Is I feel that it's really funny. I follow Mike Coulter's Instagram, which I know everyone's on Will Smith. I follow Mike Coulter's just for research purposes.
Yeah, whatever.
He likes all my.
We seen the tweet, nigga.
That
you got shaded by Luke Cage's handle.
He responded to me, so we got a thing. But
so you cheated. You left birthing off for a married man.
He's a married man with a daughter, and I respect that. So I respect the sanctity of marriage.
The respect.
She was all over John Berthenol.
I want y'all to see me looking at Daddy's face.
I would love to see this tweet.
I'm not saying you don't respect marriage, but what I'm saying is between him and John Bernthal.
What happened to him?
Netflix we was all men. Listen, I'm turning 30 this year, and they have awakened a sexual thing in me that I am here for.
I'm telling you, I just turned 30 in September. You're gonna feel it's gonna feel yeah.
Is that good? What did you, is that? I wasn't sure.
It's kind of like once you hit 30,
you're done with bullshit.
You're done with bullshit.
Yeah, you're done with bullshit.
Like, all right, cool, bet. Like it's not. You're not with the fuck boys. You're not with the bullshit. You're in your career and you're ready to take that next stage in your life. I'm in a spot
where I have a really nice body. I want to be with someone that worships it. That's it, yes. And we can equally worship each other. But, anyways, John Bernthal hit me. He's also married 3 kids. I checked.
Of course he did.
Married 3 kids.
Let me break this down real quick about John Bernthal. For those who don't understand, that is the man who plays Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Killed that shit.
When the Punisher came out, if I could tell y'all the number of text messages and everything I got from this woman.
I was in New York.
I'm getting from Dani. I don't know why I'm on my 3rd viewing of it. Of what? The whole season.
She was like, Nick, I finished it. I was like, The Punisher, myself, and then I was like,
right.
Both.
That man was so fine that I don't watch The Walking Dead, and I went back and I watched the first 2 seasons
just to watch him.
Oh, and then I pieced out, not to give any spoilers.
As soon as they was like,
one of my friends was on that show, and I was like, I don't even watch this show, but fuck, I will. Am I allowed to cuss? Fuck, I will watch this show. Oh, he's
who do you worship, Amarie?
Who do I worship?
And my culture,
superheroes,
actors or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Actors, old school actors.
So you watch the old films and just take it back to your
like, ooh, George Clooney,
or ER,
Al Pacino, or Robert De Niro, or
you are talking about old.
Yeah, old school. I love my old school. What? Yeah, I love.
The nice thing I like about liking old school, not them, but old school actors, is a lot of them are accessible now. When you think about people you had a crush on in the 90s, a lot
they're not hot no more. You can get you a Seth Green girl.
Get Joey Lawrence.
You can for sure. Should you catch Joey Lawrence at the Improv, Kenny?
That reminds me.
You can get Jonathan Taylor Thomas if you wanted.
Hey, I got Jonathan Lipnicki's number in my phone.
There you go.
I saw Freddie Prinze Jr. on a podcast. I think his name is Josh Wolf or something like that. He's on a podcast with him.
Yeah, he's funny.
And I was like,
comic.
All right, he's doing podcasts. I used to have the biggest crush on him in the fucking she's all that.
Don't be surprised if Freddie Prinze Jr. come out of Collider Studios again.
They doing Scooby-Doo again?
Nah, it's just he hangs out because his whole Star Wars thing. So.
Okay.
Who's your crushes? Who you guys like to watch?
Well, right now, Margot Robbie is my white girl right now. I will betray the black race for Margot Robbie.
No, she was
her and what's the other one?
Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
I would say Jennifer Lawrence look like she got Play-Doh in her brain. It just don't look like.
She is beautiful.
She can be beautiful, but it looked like a conversation with her hurts. Like it look.
She's funny because she got personality because she has something to say.
It looked.
Oh, you know who woke me up? So definitely Margot Robbie, and then Tessa Thompson. In Thor. I was like, she's, and I didn't even realize that she was in Creed. Like I was like, damn,
her as Valkyrie changed everybody's mind. Everybody was like, what?
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. Scarlett Jo. So Scarlett Jo Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
No, Scarlett Johansson is
Yeah. I hope they.
What about you, Jay?
I honestly do not have one. I'm legit.
What you sapiosexual? What do you call that?
Rosario Dawson or something.
Yo, I saw. Let me tell you something. Them pictures leaked out of her. What she said, and I was like, well, those are the lights of Zartha.
You ever jerked up to that He Got Game scene when she smashing Jesus in the bedroom?
No, but since we own that, what I did get off to, I'm not gonna lie, is the first 15 minutes of Luke Cage.
Was it Defenders or Luke Cage?
Hey,
I think I texted you.
Jessica Jones?
I needed this.
Of Luke Cage when he get out of prison and when he get out of prison.
Oh, Defenders, right.
Defenders, I mean. When he get out of prison.
On the coffee on the table.
So, speaking of which, let me tell you about this.
Black coffee?
So, peep this.
No sugar.
So, we did a Defenders watch along on Hyper RPG. It was myself, Danny, and about 5 other of us. Yeah. And we watched along with the fans. It was all 8 episodes. When I tell you, this motherfucker here, after the first 20 minutes, was like, all right, y'all, I'm gone. I don't need nothing else to be here for. I was like,
I couldn't even get a boner, but I had a pillow in front of me.
Right. Sat with the pillow crossed in her thighs like a Suzanne Summers thigh master.
Shit.
Like, what?
Just adjusting it.
All right, let's take it back, though. So, like, when we was growing up, like, movie in the scene that you used to jerk off to.
Oh, my God.
I mean, honestly, as a female, I didn't even know you could climax until my late 20s, honestly.
No.
But you didn't used to get, like, off on something? Like,
no, I would just get fucked. Yeah.
Right. Me and Jay, I guess.
Yeah.
You never, like...
I have specific movies and scenes.
Some girls, we just don't know our body.
How about you, Danny? Did you maybe explore?
I found out my parents had a personal massager, and also I had a great bathtub, so I figured that shit out real early.
Daddy grew up way more privileged.
I was surprised.
I think my parents were like, why is this muscle massager always in her bedroom?
The battery's really low on this.
I was a sweeper, playing soccer growing up, so I needed it.
Therapy, physical therapy.
Jay's
we're learning stuff about our friends. What do you?
It's a beautiful thing.
You looking like a shamed uncle.
Nah, I'm not. I'm just like, yo, I'm learning so much.
No, but I will say,
but you didn't like play nothing.
Open.
Nothing you never did.
No, not really.
I didn't realize.
I was very much a tomboy growing up, so I would just do a bunch of sports, and I wasn't really like into having sex for a couple years until like after high school.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay?
Yo, y'all are not gonna believe this.
You went to a Chicago public high school, right?
I'm finna keep everything all the way 100. So I grew up because I got burned when I was younger on the side of my head, boiling water, head and shoulder. I've always been considered the ugly duckling. So sex was never on my mind until I finally lost my virginity on a weight bench at 16. When I lost it, I was like, that was a mistake. Guaranteed that won't happen again. So I never had anybody where I just got into like that because I never thought it would ever be for me.
Wow.
Like, it's, for me personally, I'm a grown man who deals with a lot, and low self-esteem is still something I deal with to this day, and I'm grown. Like, if you ask me ever, like, yo, Jay, you a decent looking dude? I'm like, no, I'm not. Stop playing. I don't ever get that way because I never think those things will happen with me. Like, Dani and Amarie talking about how they're in their sexual prime and just shit just viral. Like, Dani would talk about a date she had and just break it down like, this dude's on bullshit. Follow her Twitter, y'all. I'm telling you. It's amazing.
I love it. I'm going to follow it too.
But, like, I don't think, like, people like, why don't you date in LA? I'm like, I don't think I'm attractive enough. Why don't you date when you go back home? I'm not attractive enough. So I don't have
what
those
it sounds like.
I never had that.
We just need to get you on like one recurring TV role so that these white girls will throw themselves at you.
Pounds of money and you'll see how attractive.
No. Money ain't gonna make a difference because they need to see him. They need to see him on TV because they'll think the fame is everything, and then they'll just want to fuck him, and then he'll.
But here's the thing behind that. Here's the legit thing behind that because when I've done stuff, I've done TV, I've done film, and I've been here and go back home and people have seen it. And like different women who I know who never gave me the type of date, I'm such an asshole and I'm so vindictive and petty. Like
you
I'm like
take the homecoming pussy.
I'm like, yo, I'm good.
Right.
Like I'm good.
Because they're opportunistic. Like,
I'm good. Like I don't need you.
I would totally revenge fuck any girl that curved me. I would get it. Like I like what I like to do is like if I ever felt like a girl was shading me or being like a kind of way before we got it on, I would like take it out on her while we in bed and just kind of sneak it. Like I smack her like
finna destroy a lot of them.
So you's gonna leave that ignore?
You just slaps the tables like that. That's just so aggressive.
Smack the ass.
Nick has a lot of revenge pussy he needs to take care of.
I mean, it's just like it feels like a good like I did it, now I can leave.
That's why I go. That's why I go to the gym and I was powerlifting so much before I got sick.
You powerlift?
Okay. Yo, I was powerlifting like before I got sick and changed my whole diet and workout plan and everything. I was around this bitch trying to be built like a supervillain. I still am, but just a different way.
Okay.
But that was my focus. That was how I kept my mind off all those things.
Got you.
And it still is to an extent. I mean, like everybody's like, yo, for real? Like, I haven't had sex in almost 3.5 years. Wow. Like, and it's been unfortunately like it's about choice. Like, kinda.
You don't want to take a trip to DR
or with yourself?
I haven't had sex, period. Like
not even with yourself.
I mean, of course I.
Okay, then turn up.
Because let me tell you something. When you work as a man, when you work out a lot, your testosterone level goes through the roof.
Yeah,
so you have to release that, and you just bow. There we go. Granted, I think I almost shot a Hancock-sized hole in the wall one day.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hook you up with some girls I know that are my friends.
Emory has a lot of pretty
love
friends. Big black guys.
Teddy bears. Oh, qué lindo. We're gonna get Jay. We're gonna get Jay.
We're going to see Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was going to say something else that that I deal with, Jay, on a different level is the amount, I think because we're both in a public space, that for me, it's all the comments, like the shitty ass comments that I get and like the amount of them.
Yo.
Do you get it from guys or from girls?
No, like from guys.
And what are they saying?
Well,
because they just want to say stupid, what dudes have this anonymity.
They
just want a response.
Yeah. But it's the level of it where people are like, just ignore it. I'm like, no, I think if you got hundreds of comments about how fucking ugly you are, don't bring her back on this channel. Her face is too big. Her jaw is too big. She's like, I'm either too fat, I'm too skinny or whatever. Like the amount of comments that I get. I have people that'll go through all my Instagram. Like I'll screenshot it and it'll be like, you look like a man. You look like a tranny. You look, and that to me, as someone who has dealt with self-esteem issues, and I had an eating disorder when I was 17 that I had to go into therapy for. It was this whole thing. It's really triggering. And people will be like, well, why'd you choose this career? And it's like, because I'm fucking good at it.
But you know what it is too?
Good at it.
Like
I'm not
most of those people, the way I see it, because I have that same, to a certain extent, I have that same problem as well. I'm like, dude, these people are like 9, 10. Sometimes they're younger.
Sometimes they're like 47-year-old men.
Their life is miserable and they're trolls. And that's all they do. And they wish bad on you because their life is so fucked up. So what I do is I just kind of like just block them and I just keep it moving. Because to kind of put that much energy on these people, they're always going to be there. And the more successful you are, the worse it's going to be. So you have to like start getting.
Here's what's bad though about what we do.
Into it now, like just not letting it affect you.
But here's the problem with where we do it.
Extent.
But where we do it at is in those spaces where these are the comments we consistently get. Like I get so many, why is he on here? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have nothing to say. I don't want to see Warren Sapp. And I'm like, that's
like racial.
Yeah. Just all of them. But the problem becomes these are the same people who I guarantee will catch us at a Comic-Con or different things because we don't see their faces be like, oh my God, I love you. I'm such a fan. Hypocrites. And it's like, you're the same person who literally was just talking all this shit in my comments.
Some of them can't even look me in the eye. They can't even look. I like did this thing at Funimation where we were giving away, they own Dragon Ball Z, and we were giving away toys and stuff, like this giveaway that we were doing at Anime Expo, and I would like hand someone like, oh, you want a Goku or whatever, hand it to them, and they're like, thanks. Like that, I'm like, you're the same
you're like,
person
oh, you the troll.
Who probably
who talks that shit.
You're the same person who probably like, I can do better than her. I can do a better job than her. Why is she on this channel? She's only on this channel because she's pretty or whatever. But then it'll be, I'm too ugly to be on the channel. So I'm like, make up your goddamn mind, internet. I can either be too pretty and that's why I'm on it, or I'm too ugly to be on it. But you can't fucking have both.
I see internet like gambling.
Yo,
like the house always wins.
No, what you should do? No, what you should do is do a picture of your face, right, and just put a line down the middle and go, am I too ugly or too cute? You can't have both. Like that'll be the dopest thing ever. Just not even with two different looks, just the same look. Just
I feel like wherever you're getting the most love, just remember that, and then just keep that, and that should outweigh everything else.
Definitely.
Like, you know, if people are always showing you love on the IG, or they're kind of like cool with you with the Facebook stuff, and that's where you should just give energy to, because that's where all the good stuff is coming from.
It's difficult for me because I had shared, you guys probably saw it because you follow me on Facebook. I had shared 30 of the DMs that I received.
I was like, God damn.
Yeah, they're so bad. It'll be like most women are sluts that deserve to get hit. It'll be like the most vile things that you think, like, do people really write you that?
Do you respond to them?
No.
Okay, because you know Kate all the time. You know Kate Quigley?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she has a page on its own that is just her DM.
Yeah.
Just her DM.
The funniest shit ever. Like, it's so, because at one point you're like, okay, where am I gonna go with this? It's not gonna stop, so I have to either do something about it.
I go back and forth between ignoring them, like you said, and blocking them, not giving them attention, but I also do want people to know that this is happening.
That's true. Like, you gotta put people onto this.
Yeah, and not all of them are random people. Some of them are comics, or some of them are people in the industry that'll write me and write me shitty, or that we know, or something, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, no, I kind of want people to know that this piece of shit is doing this.
And try to have me at a lunch meeting.
Yeah. or we'll just be like, hey, when are we fucking or something? I'm like, you know what? You don't get to write me that.
Yeah, what them lips do? Get the fuck out of my face.
You get a lot of what them lips do?
Or,
I'll eat your ass.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
I had a guy I
was like, I didn't know my ass was for lunch.
I had a guy today that said I'd be blessed if you would stab me, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's like, sure.
I'm like, gladly.
What kind of sexual
What type of
that's not dominatrix. That's
First
like,
of all, we need to clarify several things. What type of BDSM shit are you into? Number two, where are we getting stabbed?
Listen, dude, if you want me to stab you, I have a lot of anger that I would love to take out on people. So
I had a dude be like, yo, why the fuck you don't show more pictures of your toes?
Not for free.
Oh, the toe fetish guys. Yeah, they're out there. The toe fetish guys.
Yo, you better show me. Yeah, it would be a blessing to be stabbed.
Right?
Hold on, wait, let me see this.
It would be a blessing to be stabbed by you. Look at the picture that it was in. It was a picture of me that he was writing in response to.
Like a GIF?
I would gladly stab him.
Danny's open to stabbing,
Please meet
guys.
me.
Wow.
I'll be at WonderCon.
Yo, like, this is today.
Yeah, it's today.
Come for me with the knife for me to stab you with.
So sometimes I go back and forth between sharing shit, which, I mean, that was
fun.
kind of, that was funny.
Say PayPal me the money for the knife.
Yeah, no, Venmo me. I'll give you my thing.
Yeah, you know, you should really start making
looking
money
at the dude, because that's him, so I can see,
He's into
Look,
that.
I will throw you out a window, whatever you want me to do.
His mother.
Damn.
You know, it's crazy
I will
because
push you in front of a moving car, like just
the kind of crazy I get, like this is probably the craziest thing I ever had to deal with, and it wasn't even it was like flattering that I just I was like, oh, look at what this chick did. So a couple years ago, I got to go to this show my boy was throwing, Cypher Sounds. He was a DJ in New York who's a comic now. He does this full time, and he has an improv show that he calls called Don't Get Gassed. So he gets like hip hop world guests to come in and they do a story. Everybody does a thing about them. The improv team does a whole act out with them. So the guest was Tahiri from Love and Hip Hop. She's a reality star, video vixen, whatever like that. And Tahiri was like
Joe Budden's ex. She's in my top 5, you know, because that ass is crazy. So I get to meet Tahiri. Tahiri's cool. I get a picture. Her photographer was there. And I post my picture. They take the picture I put up, and she posted me on hers and at me. So I got like, my phone crashed. That was the first time my phone ever crashed. I was feeling myself. I'm like 22 or whatever. Man, people were like texting me, oh, he cute, whatever. Who just looking like Will Smith fake ass nigga? Everybody hates Chris ass nigga, like whatever. You call all the hate there.
But here was the kicker one, right? So this one chick writes this like essay about how, wow, I'm so happy he's doing his thing. We dated like 8 years ago or whatever. And I was like, bitch, I was 14 8 years ago. Like she made this, she went hard. She made up this whole thing about us having this history.
And she made it up?
Completely. I don't even know who she was.
Yeah.
So involved in the story. I was like, did I date you? Like, it was like, she was like, yeah, he was cute. He was such a good guy. I'm so glad that he's doing good things or whatever like that. I hope everything works out with you. I'm like, yo, you
delusional ass motherfuckers.
Yo, that whatever that fan is in the Kathy Bates movie, that shit is misery. Yeah.
But I don't know if you, but I've had that happen where I was like in my friend's web series and I just was reading the comments, which again, you're not supposed to do.
I read comments. I'm a comment comment reader.
Don't ruin your fucking week.
It will ruin your whole, bro.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know. I get into it.
Listen, but if you were, what I'm trying to say is that if you were on all of these,
I'm not on
it
it
constantly,
dealing with it nonstop,
every single day, where every single day someone's telling you you're a piece of shit, and not just one. Someone will say like, "This bitch is ugly. She's a piece of shit. Get her off here," and I'll have 80 likes. Like that's the shit that I feel like we deal with. And I was in some video, and some guy was like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend," and people are like, "Congrats, she's so," and I'm like, "No, what the fuck? Who is this guy claiming me? That drives me nuts."
Did you respond that we ain't going together? Did you let it be known? Because if you don't shut it down, then that means y'all together. That's how Instagram works.
That's how it works. That's how it works. No, it was like on YouTube, and I refused to comment on there.
Hey, you hit a mark one time with the, hey man, if I ain't made it official on Facebook, ain't shit happen.
Right.
Exactly. No, but it was just some random guy where it's just stuff like that, and I know it feels small maybe to people listening,
hey,
but
that's my baby mama. What?
These are the downs in our world, for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like it is a thing, and when you're just coming out here because this is something that you love and you like performing, you don't really think about the amount of hate or the amount of people that are, especially in the nerd world, they're extremely obsessed with their fandoms, and anytime you step into it, you are no longer a fan. You are no longer just a fan. So even though Jay and I grew up,
you're a Marvel shield.
Yeah, even you're being paid by Marvel, and that's why you have this opinion. You're being paid by Marvel to shit on DC and other. Those are legit things that are said about us, which I would love some Marvel money or DC money. Either or you want to throw at me.
DC can pay me, and I swear to God, Justice League will be the most misunderstood movie in the past 10 years.
So Jay, let's get into some of that. So you were one of the few who actually enjoyed Justice League, right?
No, nigga, I didn't.
So you were lying to me.
This is what I told you. I said Justice League is a fun movie.
Fun movie, right?
If you don't give a shit about the plot,
right?
Character development, the bad guy, bad CGI. It's a fun movie if you don't care about
those things.
If you don't care about that, it's a fun movie. If you don't give a shit about none of that, it's a good movie. If you care about all those, you like, oh, I could have just shot myself because that would have been more fun. But then you can't go into spaces like Dani and I go to and break down the logistics of why this is actually wrong without catching this, oh, you just want to hate on DC only because Marvel, blah, blah, blah. DC has substance, and it's like, yo, I'm not hating. I want you to make good films. Let me tell you how much I want DC to make good films. Nigga, I paid real money to go see Suicide Squad and had hopes and dreams in that movie theater. And in the first 7 minutes, I was like, please, God, let this get better. You know what I'm saying? I paid money for that movie.
But I was going to say, I do want to say that it is a real thing that we get attacked. Our friend Clark Wolf had a guy who threatened to kill her
because she disliked Man of Steel.
He actually wrote her and said repeatedly, I am going to go to Burbank and I will shoot you. And it was something, that's where the studio is. And it's like, I know people are like rolling their eyes and think this isn't a big deal.
That's some
people have found the studio. People have found
not hard.
us. It's not hard to find us at cons and stuff. And you think like, this sounds insane. No, this is like a different side of the world that I think that people don't necessarily see or understand unless you're in front of the camera and on these channels and shows. It's insane to us. Right. It's insane to us that people take it that seriously when the actors don't take it that seriously, you know? But that is a real thing that she had to report to the police, that this guy repeatedly wrote her. Yeah. We have other friends that say stuff like that as well.
Shit. And she put a restraining order on him?
I don't know what she ended up doing, but that's terrifying. Someone knows where you work.
Goes that far, and then it can find you at a Comic-Con.
And threatens you just because you have a different opinion. Yeah, because you have a voice. Now think if you're talking about racial or social things, how angry they get. And the responses and comments. So...
Damn, this makes me like not want to ask, but I'm just going to do it. So Jay, do you don't want to see the Zack Snyder 4-hour cut?
For what? I would rather put drops of acid in my eyelids. Put cocaine.
That would be a lot of fun.
No. I'm not done. I'm not done yet. Chop up mushrooms and put them up my urethra.
Oh my God.
Sit my asshole in lidocaine while chewing on bricks of PCP. While also having my arms be massaged by those winged things in Batman v Superman, rather than watch the 4-hour Zack Snyder cut. Because
I would love love for someone to PayPal you to do all those things. Like, what type of money are we talking about here?
Yo, my PayPal
Drug
email.
challenge.
No, my PayPal email is DATRAUMATIC1 @ That's DutchTraumatic1 @ yahoo.com.
Okay.
It would take a PayPal amount in the amount of $5,000.
Oh, God.
He did the math for this shit.
Hashtag drug challenge.
Yo, look, as long as I can pay my rent up for the year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll detox and sit in the steam room.
If someone sends you $5K for this,
I'm going to go find
we're going to have a webcam and everything set up.
Danny's going to shoot it because she's trying to shoot more sketches.
Yo, look.
And I'll get the drug dealers.
Right.
You know how I like seeing men in pain.
I know, right? We're going to have an EMT on standby. We're going to have all that.
It'll be fan service and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
15. Okay, since I thought about it, since Danny makes
What?
15K. If I get a PayPal about
You can't go back now.
don't you encourage this shit.
Let's talk about so we're all pretty much single here. Everybody here, not dating too much.
No.
Isolation. How about you?
My dog.
Your dog is
I
the
just
love of your
hang
life,
out.
right?
Yeah, she's my, she's my emotional support puppy.
Oh, she's a
Even
baby.
though she's 11.
Molly grown as hell.
Molly is the most judgmental bitch I've ever met in my life, and I love her. You should see the side eye that she gives dudes.
Do you have sex with the dog in the room?
Yeah, she's
That happened
normally.
to me one time. I felt kind of weird fucking with while the dog was there.
She doesn't like it. Like, she'll be in her bed and just trying to cover her ears. Like, she's just not there for it.
Yeah. Like, what if does it depend on how good it's going for you, or it's just all together? Like, if you're enjoying it, then she gets more at ease because it's like, oh, my mother's being taken care of.
I don't think she ever enjoys being in the same room.
Okay.
But that's her choice. I told her, like, get out from under the bed or you're going to be stuck in here.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess you're stuck in here.
Yeah. How about you? You have any dogs? Did you have dogs?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
animals?
I used to have a Chihuahua, and my last 7-year relationship, when we first hooked up, my Chihuahua like humped his leg while he was doing it.
He could smell the testosterone and like the pheromones.
And so that experience, I don't have any dogs anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Did he pee on his foot while he was giving it to you?
No.
Oh,
He was just kept humping my ex, and my ex kept kicking him off.
Oh,
and
so
I think he was a little bit jealous. I think he was just like in his feelings.
Okay.
Shout out to Chi-Chi. Wherever you are, baby. I miss you.
You let Chi-Chi go?
Yeah, I let Chi-Chi go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jay, how about it's getting sadder and sadder. Jay, have you ever had animals or like had a situation where you was having sex with a girl, her animals were in the room? Or her kids?
Shit.
What?
That happened to me too.
Same thing.
Yo, I've had sex with my daughter. My son walked in on one.
Yeah.
And my son, when he was younger, walked in. It was the most hilarious shit ever. Because my son, he had just woke up. He was down for a nap. So me and my ex-wife at the time, we were like, we good. We finna get this going. My son walked in. He was like, and my son went back in his bed, closed his door, put his sheet over his head. I was like,
You have a good son.
I was like, you okay? He was like, no. My daughter woke up once because we had my ex and I. We had
How long were you married?
I was married. So I was married for 2.5 years.
Okay. How many marriages? One or twice?
One marriage. My ex-fiance, that my daughter's by, we had our bed, and then our daughter's crib was there, and she was passed out. Like that little heifer she was baby snoring. We was like, yo, we good. When all of a sudden, something said, my spidey sense was like, yo, turn to the side. My daughter sitting up on the crib was like, for real?
For real, though?
She had her head cocked and everything. She was like, for real? I was like, Leah, go to sleep.
Gave it a kiki tilt.
She gave me, I was like, oh, and then her mama just was giggling. I was like, how do you explain this to her? Because she doesn't have this online conscience just yet. Right. But I'm like, I feel like for at least the next 24 hours, she gonna judge me.
It's coming, yeah.
No, and it kind of enables who they become as adults. I had my parents were having sex in the other room when I was like 8 years old. And what I did is I kicked the door open and I just started jumping on the bed. And that is the type of person I am today.
Oh
like,
my God.
So
You're a cock blocker. That's what you are. Okay.
I like to cock block.
That's crazy. Yeah. Danny, we kids, nothing kids related, right?
No, that sounds terrifying and traumatic. No, just my dog. Yeah, she'll be around.
Have any of you guys ever dated an older guy but then was like more into his son?
Oh my
No,
God.
I would love to date an older dude because they're normally, you see me over there. They're normally more stable and established.
They're sick. I was dating a very older dude.
How old are we talking?
37.
That's not old.
Get the fuck out of here.
Time out.
I'm gonna take your ass out here with this.
Why am I getting accused right
Because, nigga, that's my age. Like, how is that? What? Nigga, that's my age. I'm 37. What are you talking
my
about?
ex-boyfriend's age.
I'm glad I got a reaction. I'm just
Listen,
fucking with
old
you.
is like not even, but I would say a little older than middle aged. I would say
Okay.
middle aged or a little bit older.
What do we?
Than middle
All right,
aged,
what's
like
our
50s
in our era? What's middle age? Because for me, I feel like because I know so many comics who like from the Def Jam days who still look fly now, and they in the club in their 40s, and I don't consider 40s old. I think middle age starts after 50.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's literally middle age because we have the average lifespan of like 100 or under, right, for humans.
But middle age is what goes from 50 to 65. When does it become old age?
No,
I try to go. I say late 40s. I'm always later 40s.
Yeah, maybe later 40s.
So after 45?
Some people don't age well, so I could put them in
Yeah,
there.
I thought you were like 24.
See?
24, 25.
Yeah, I'm 30. Thank God, good genes, taking care of myself, a lot of water,
Okay.
a lot of veggies,
Right.
and a lot of work.
Yeah, JB eating all these veggie burritos.
It's juicy now.
Juicing.
I'm out here eating.
I ate like shit for the past 2 weeks. I was trying to put on some
Bro,
pounds.
you almost have a near death. You almost die in the hospital. It changed everything. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I can eat what I want to eat, but like, I was at a taco truck last night after leaving this bar. I had 2 drinks and I was gone. I was like, yo, this is how much life has changed for me. And I was like, yo, I could get a taco. I can get a quesadilla because we pronounce our L's around here. And
Offensive.
Are you offended?
No, oh my God. No, Jay, you
Danny's
know
low-key
how hard,
Mexican.
Yeah.
Low key, she's Mexican.
Yeah, I'm Mexican. But you know how hard I party because we partied.
man, we were out one night. Danny hit me up the next day, was like, I'm at the IV place.
I got an IV. I had to go to like one of
She
those
was
hangover
so-
heavens. I
she
was
was that
so.
fucking-
This was only 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So we both host at Hyper RPG, and when those, which is a Twitch channel, and when those fires came through, our studio got shut down. Like it was not healthy to be breathing in the air there, and so I had to go stay at a hotel.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not working tonight. Like, and I called some of my friends over, and Jay came over, and some of my friends came over, and I was like, I was so drunk. I was like, just put it on my hotel like room or whatever, and did shots. We had, I don't even remember
It was
everything
fun.
I drank.
It was a lot of fun.
Yo, we
found
just had
bunch
a
of
great night.
Yeah. I found a bunch of gummy bears in my
Does
bed.
the IV thing really work? Does it work?
I thought I was going to feel like a superhero.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you
what I
do
think.
it for like an hour and you're like, oh, I'm going to be ready to run a marathon. Like all my bad life decisions are gone now. And I just didn't feel drunk. That was it.
Coconut water, ladies and gentlemen.
Coconut water.
Coconut water is the most.
Pedialyte.
Jason,
Or Pedialyte. Anything with electrolytes that'll put it right in the back in you naturally.
Isn't that thing for the babies?
But
it is
Fuck the babies.
Hey,
out here trying to get
Hey, life hack, DIY, have Pedialyte. Yeah.
Like now, a lot of stores like
They should do
CVS.
Pedialytes for adults.
No, actually,
they do.
and I'm about to get to that. So now, like CVS and Walgreens are actually selling just straight electrolytes. They're not even labeling it Pedialyte anymore because they know people are buying it for
College
hangovers.
students.
Yeah. So I'm out here, but look, I'm out here getting this Vita Coco. Like I got so fucked up one time. I told my Uber, "Hey fam, I need you to stop at this 7-Eleven." He was like, "But this is a pool." I was like, "Ain't nobody else in this bitch." Stop at the 7-Eleven, went and grabbed me 4 Vita Cocos. Took 2 of them before I went to bed. 2 more when I woke up in the morning. I was like, "All right, let's go hit the gym."
Yeah.
God.
I think every Uber stops by a 7-Eleven. I think that's proper protocol.
It's
Like, by the way-
should.
So the 3 of you guys like work out a lot, right? You guys are more gym crazy. I'm not doing shit with my body right now.
He has a fast metabolism, guys.
Yeah, that's.
I actually do. I wake up and take a shit.
Yes.
And after I eat, I go take a
That's
shit.
his workout.
Yeah, pretty much. So that does give you time to listen to music, right? You guys. So what are y'all listening to right now? What's in your playlist? Most days. Anybody new project that just came out? I just bumped some of Tory Lanez's new album. I thought it was pretty good.
I am currently listening to the entire Black Panther soundtrack
Yes,
and
same.
score.
That was
Same.
hot.
And score.
I like listening to, aside from that, I like listening to movie soundtracks. They always like build you up, you know?
We usually like to do a list here. Do you guys have your top 5 movie soundtracks?
Yo, Juice, Above the Rim, Boomerang, Waiting to Exhale,
You already
and
got
Boys
it.
in the Hood.
Those are kind of like mine, but I'll give some different ones. Go ahead, Danny.
What? No, mine are all like corny. I feel like
It's
mine's
not-
like
it's not
a goofy
corny if it's
movie.
your list.
Wait,
It's your
somebody's
list.
wearing a power Powerline shirt right here. Yes.
And then I was thinking about that. He has a Powerline shirt on.
You have Space Jam.
She dresses up as what's her name?
Roxanne. Yeah, I've
that's Danny's like alter ego.
We all have those.
Adult Roxanne.
You got 5 soundtracks?
Oh, the Titanic.
God, when you want to cry or something?
I will go.
How sad are you?
Songs from that soundtrack or just that one song?
That one song.
I just saw the Titanic the other day. That's what
you the worst. I swear.
No, like, come back to me, guys. Come back to me.
Yo, Jay, I'm gonna hit you on game because I saw the movie the other day and I was like, yo, I did bump that soundtrack heavy when I was little. Hardball had a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan was in that one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. The Cucumbers.
That was his first role. You remember the team?
Yes, exactly.
That G-Baby scene still gets me.
G-Baby scene. Everybody, bro.
Don't talk about G-Baby.
I'm saying that shit, when he dies, that shit still kind of like
everybody.
Have you ever seen Hardball, Danny? It's about baseball kids in Chicago.
With Keanu Reeves. He's like a fuck up and then he starts coaching these motherfuckers.
He gambles. It was a cool film.
Yeah, he
came out like 01.
He becomes better at what he's doing and then he changes their lives.
He falls for the kids.
Yeah, and then
and Diane Lane's in it. She plays the teacher at the school.
Oh,
the like trajectory of Keanu Reeves' career is just so insane to me.
But that was in between Matrix trilogies though.
And will still be on the bus out here.
But he John Wick out here though.
John Wick.
That's my shit. I can't wait for the third one.
Bill or Ted, I forgot which one he is, but
Speed, Matrix.
Constantine.
The one with
Constantine is his dope one.
The Devil's Advocate, I love him in that one.
Al Pacino, that was one.
Wait, oh shit, he's in that one with oh god.
No, he's not in the one with God, I think.
Great. No, it's like the one where he gets a girl. Where she pretend. No, she's
As Good
pregnant.
As It Gets.
Fuck. No, I'm gonna fuck this up. There's also the one where he like is giving love letters to a.
Oh yes, that was a beautiful movie. With Sandra Bullock.
Lake House.
Lake House.
Okay.
Yeah. That one was good.
I saw that in a relationship because I was forced to watch that.
Damn.
I was forced to watch I was forced to watch the Lake House and the Notebook in a relationship.
Do girls really make you watch these films? I've never had like a serious girlfriend.
Bro, my ex-wife made me watch A Walk to Remember.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
I'll always remember.
Let me say this. I kind of wasn't mad after I watched it. I had
Shane West.
Shane West and Mandy Moore. Like,
beautiful.
he made her a telescope, dog. Yeah. Like, before she died,
who am I talking to right now?
Yo, hey, fam, he was so beautiful. Like, the daddy was like, you the word for my daughter.
I got 3 crybabies on my fucking podcast.
I'm not crying. I'm just being
You had
real.
thug tears?
Hey, man, this is just allergies, fam.
Allergies, all right, fam.
Microphones got by allergies.
All right. Oh, so my other ones, the Mo Money soundtrack slamming.
Yo, everybody, Mo Money, yeah.
Marlon and Damon.
But you said 5, so Mo Money's in my 10.
Okay, but what were the 5 you said? So I know the
Above the Rim, Juice, Boomerang, Waiting to Exhale, Boys in the Hood.
New Jack City.
God damn it.
New Jack City.
New Jack City, dope.
Popping.
Yes.
So was that 3?
I remember one, Hustle and Flow. No, it's hard out here for a pimp when you try to get.
All right, Danny, what are your one song?
My interest music, my wrestling music, my wrestling interest theme came from Hustle and Flow.
Oh, word.
Okay, there it is. It's a classic.
It wasn't hard out here for a pimp though.
Yeah.
It definitely
I love
was.
your Space Jam.
Booty Call. Space Jam soundtrack. That's the top 5.
Yeah, Space
Jam. And Booty Call soundtrack.
Listen, all mine. I feel like those. I feel like are good workout. Those are good workout ones. Like Space Jam soundtrack is great.
They have, that besides work, they have everything in that. There's the hype music. There's the R&B. There's the gospel.
I'm talking to fellow workout people here, Nick. So
not fast mentality.
You might want to slide out this.
Did I tell you guys?
I know it's something you don't have to do, but for the rest of us that need to get pumped, to go to the gym.
He's burning right now.
I am burning calories right now. And I got this banana.
Yeah,
it's a potassium.
We get it. You're allowed to have sugars.
Show off. You're allowed to live.
I'm gonna get it. I told Danny this. I said one of these years I'm gonna definitely spend like 6 months to a year working out so I can just take
this
Instagram pictures.
This will pump you up to work out.
I'm not gonna put on too much. I'm gonna get really toned and chiseled, and I'm just gonna fucking.
This will pump you up to
so
work
you're not
out.
gonna hit up steroids.
Nick, you can work out to this.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
Oh, hold on, turn it up.
Steroids.
Whoop that trick.
It's my actual interest music.
That trick.
The interest music.
That's hilarious. Yeah, man. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for coming on, man. We had a good time. If you guys have anything y'all want to plug, this is the chance to put it out there. We can start with Dani and then work our way down.
Yeah, you can follow me at Ms. Dani Fernandez. I have a new podcast coming out on how stuff works called Nerdificent with my co-host Ife Wadiwe, and it's like a nerdy deep dive for everyone. So we're going to be covering the history of like Reddit and Bitcoin and VR and Comic-Con, and then but also having
I made some money on Bitcoin.
Also having our experiences in it. So if you already are familiar with it, as we are, it's kind of for everyone.
So is it launched or you're getting ready to launch it?
Yeah, I think the trailer drops for it next week. And then in 2 weeks, I think the official one, we're tackling Comic-Con and also our experiences with like after parties. Okay. And it's a little wild.
Weekly,
so, yeah.
Weekly or?
It's weekly. Yeah, good. Weekly. We also tackled cosplay as well. We had our friend Stella Chu, who's a professional cosplayer, come on. And that world is insane because they also have lewds and, you know, like things in the cosplay world that you can now be a professional cosplayer.
There's a living to make in cosplay?
Oh, 100%. A lot of those people are professional now.
They're sponsored.
They're sponsored, and that's what they do now is make outfits and also have nude calendars. So.
And where can our listeners see all this stuff?
Oh, it's going to be on How Stuff Works. It'll be on the Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. It's called Nerdificent. And then when does this drop?
This drops on Thursday. We get the episodes on Thursday.
Okay, so this Saturday, actually, I'm taking over Funimation's YouTube channel, and we are live streaming the final episode of Dragon Ball Super, the final one that's airing in Japan. It's a big deal because Toei is really strict sometimes about stuff like that. So we're hoping that.
So there's no more after Dragon Ball Super?
No, that's it.
Damn.
That's it.
I didn't watch the show, but I feel your pain, girl.
I know.
How many episodes? 200?
Oh, God, yeah.
3,000?
I mean, in the whole franchise, hundreds and hundreds of episodes.
So they're never going to do anything else? They got to do something else.
They're probably going to have movies and stuff. But so that'll be this Saturday.
And where can they follow you?
At Ms. Dani Fernandez.
And that's everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yep. You type at Ms. Dani Fernandez and you shall find. And Jay, where can the people find you? What you got coming up?
You can find me under a rock. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MrJaywashington. You can check out both of my podcasts. One, the Trusty Sidekick podcast. Myself and Bobby Hill, we get you caught up on everything in the Marvel.
Very good.
Thank you, sir. On the Marvel and DC TV shows and live action universes, we keep it as barbershop talk, but with nerds. So keep it as real, as grounded as we can. Also catch me on the Wrestling Compadre Slamcast with myself, Johnny LaQuasto, Dale Rutledge, and Scott Narva. All your wrestling news. Of course, I get to talk about 15 years of experience in the biz and everything of the sorts. This Friday, you can catch me at the 10:30 show at the Laugh Factory on Sunset Boulevard. Ooh. I'll be there doing a spot, so other stuff will pop up. I officially need to update my website, so it's there. There are no dates on it.
Is Instagram your working website for now?
No, I got a working website. That's the thing. I actually have a website. I've been doing everything else. Yeah. I just haven't updated my website, but nonetheless, I always post my shows on Twitter, Instagram, everything. So make sure you find me those spots. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Amarie, what you got cooking?
You guys can find me at the peak between Pico and Santa Monica taco truck. I'll be getting some tacos.
Yeah.
Because a bitch gotta eat. You guys follow me. You know what's going on. You got my Instagram. It's all Gucci in the hood.
What's the Instagram?
Amarie Lee _ comedy. Amarie Lee _ comedy on Instagram. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And this Friday, I'm doing me and my improv team, Cornbread Kitchen, we're performing at the Kiki. It's like this spot in Inglewood where it's all black teams doing improv, and it's just like not the UCB at fucking all. Like it's just more hood. It's a very black experience. I'm hyped to kind of see what that's gonna be like. I have a show on Tuesday, but the episode won't be out, so forget my Irvine improv
you just
spot.
Wanted to throw it in there.
Had to, because he let you know I'm out here working. And then you can follow me at Nick of Comedy, NICKOF Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Mi Gente, MySpace, Black Planet, Black People Meet, Jesus Swipe, and all that. I'm lying about the last
Farmers
3 or 4. There's a Farmers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Farmers Meet.
I'm not on that. But at Nick of Comedy, this has been For the Culture Live. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.